Oh boy. Yo. Oh man. Jason Blum, you magnificent bastard. You don't disappoint, man. Holy shit. Hold on. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. Last thing I need is a fucking copyright strike. You fucking magnificent bastard. You don't disappoint. Hello, fine gentlemen, ladies. I don't want the feminists, you know. Forks. The picket signs. So I was not gonna see this movie. I'm going to be straight honest with you. And Kevin, I know you're listening. Every time me and Kevin saw this trailer, I was like, that looks so bad. I would never watch that movie.
You need something, huh? One of your rides? Let me know. I'll get there as soon as I can.
So, hold on a second. So when, yesterday, because this movie had no Thursday night screenings and nobody was talking about it. Everybody was talking about, oh, Sonic this, Sonic that, Sonic that. I just did my review for Sonic. It's on the channel. Please go like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you! Yeah, everyone was talking about Sonic, how they either liked it or hated it. You guys, if you guys saw my review, you know that I really liked it. But yeah, nobody was talking about Fantasy Island, and I was like, okay, is it me, or did, like, nobody watch this movie? And then I came to find out, oh, there was no Thursday night screenings, which I find odd, because more often than not, a movie will have a Thursday night screening. I think even Truth or Dare had a Thursday night screening. I didn't go, but, you know, I think my friend went. Watching the movie, after watching the movie, I know 100% why this movie did not have a Thursday night screening. Oh my god. This movie was fucking awful. And I'm gonna, listen, I know I curse a lot in these videos. I'm gonna curse so much in this movie, in this review. Because listen, if you want baby go watch somebody else, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and fucking bleep. No. We're not doing that, bro. This is how I express myself to you guys. So I'm gonna express my fucking hate and my fucking anger for this pile of dog shit. Fantasy Island from Jason Blum, the magnificent bastard himself, who absolutely raped my childhood with Halloween, the 2018 version. 2018, and he's probably gonna keep doing that with Halloween Kills. Is that what it's called? Halloween Ends? Is that what? I don't know what they're called. I don't give a shit. They're gonna be awful, just like the first one. And he ruined Truth or Dare. He's probably gonna ruin The Invisible Man, which is a shame because I personally think The Invisible Man could be a really good movie. Oh dear, I just crashed. I'm so unfocused, I just crashed. I don't give a shit. But regardless, I think The Invisible Man is gonna be, I hope it's gonna be a really good movie because it has good talent behind it. Upgrade, which is such a great movie. Elizabeth Moss is in there. Yeah, listen. But then again, you know, we had Jamie Lee Curtis and we had John Carpenter and all those people for Halloween, and that still failed. That had even more talent than The Invisible Man does. So, that's neither here nor there. I probably won't even see that movie. Moving on, but yeah, this is the same director and the same writer and the same main star as Truth or Dare. The director, here, let me look up the director's name because this is very valuable information, ladies and gentlemen. The director, oh my god, IMDb, what are you doing to me, man? Jeff Wadlow, you freaking clown. Jeff Wadlow directed the masterpiece Truth or Dare, which was easily the best movie in 2018. You know, what, Mission Impossible Fallout? What? No. Avengers Infinity War? Nah, man. A Quiet Place? Nah. Creed? Nah. Truth or Dare was where it was at, bro. Man. It also stars Lucy Hale, who, listen. She was fine, and you know what? I'm not gonna get into that right now. We're not there yet. Let's talk about this, if there even is one. So, the premise of this movie is that Michael Pena is Mr. Rourke, right? And first of all, this is a remake of the 1977 show, and then I think that's what I heard. And the premise of Fantasy Island, I never watched the show, I've never heard of the show a day in my life. I don't know what the fuck this is. Well, I know, like, the only thing I know is welcome to Fantasy Island and boss, they playing. I know that. I know what that is. But other than that, I think I did not know what the premise was. So the premise is that you go to this island and any fantasy, it'll come true. If you wanted $1 million with the hottest female on the planet of the earth, have it. If you wanted to live in the Eiffel Tower for the rest of your life, you could. If you wanted to be made out of cheese for whatever you wanted, you can do it. If you want, I don't know. If you wanted to be LeBron James, I don't fucking know. This is just an example. So basically the premise is that you have to live out the fantasy until it ends. That's all I'm gonna say without spoiling. Oh, where do I fucking start? So let's start with the acting. Wow. The acting in this movie is fucking horrible. Lucy Hale plays a fucking slut, and she is horrible in this movie. She is so bad. She was kind of tolerable in Truth or Dare. I was like, you know what? You're doing okay in Truth or Dare. This, I don't know what the. They should have just made her the same character as Truth or Dare, and I would have been like, you know what? You're not so bad. But they make her like this sex fiend kind of alcoholic character. Like, I was like, what? Like, this is so not. This is so weird. Maggie Q was probably the best part of this movie, but barely. Like, she wasn't bad. She was barely in the movie, and her storyline just was so boring. That's another thing. This movie is an hour and... How long is this movie? An hour and 50 minutes, alright? I don't want to get... Yeah, hour and 50 minutes. This movie felt like watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood without skipping over the boring parts. Because I have been doing that. Kevin, we watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and we skipped over Margot Robbie scenes because they're so boring and useless. That's what this felt like. This felt like watching that movie, but without fast forwarding anything. That's how long this movie went for. This movie kept going and 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 going. Oh my god! It was so boring! It was so boring! Oh my god! I have never sat through a more boring movie in my life! It was so boring. Listen, this is worse than Truth or Dare. I don't even fucking know to make a movie worse than Truth or Dare. But it's worse than Truth or Dare. I'll tell you why. At least Truth or Dare was so bad it was funny, but then it got boring. This movie is so boring for 95% of this movie, and then it becomes the movie I wanted it to be. I wanted this movie to be so bad it was funny, me laughing my ass off the whole time. I got that in the last like 15 minutes of this movie. That's when everything just was like, what the fuck was going on? The movie makes no sense. The story is so convoluted. It has so many plot twists that make no sense. It made me question The characters are so one-dimensional. The humor is god fucking awful. I was in a packed theater for this movie. There were like 3 people laughing. This movie was so... The pacing is awful. This movie makes no sense. There's 4 fantasies going on, and they're so different from each other. And I'm okay for different, but the tones don't match up. You have like, one is like a war movie, then another one is like romance kind of, then another one is like 21 Jump Street, only not unique at all. Then another one is like shit, what was the 4th? I don't even know how to describe the 4th one. It's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird way, I don't know how to describe it. But oh, excuse me. You guys know what I mean. It's 4 different storylines that they match them up, but they don't match them up. What I'm saying is, in the movie, they tell you, oh yeah, all 4 of these stories are gonna match up, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh my god. The movie makes no sense. And then just when I thought the movie was gonna end, the movie was going for another 30 minutes! Oh my god! I couldn't believe it!
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
I could not believe... Guys, oh my god. And then the plot twist. The fuck? There's 3 plot twists in this movie, and all 3 of them had me like, what? All 3 of them made no sense. In the last 30 minutes of this movie is so bad. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And then on top of that, what makes it even funnier is the fact that every time there's a plot twist or a oh shit moment, quote unquote oh shit moment, because nothing in this movie took me by... A character got shot and I was like, oh, that's tough there, buddy. Because you don't care about the characters. But there's so many plot twists, and every time there's a plot twist, it might as well have just paused the movie for saying, oh, well, this is why this happened. I had to bring you here to do this, and 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 this. Everyone! And then the ending, I swear to God, the ending was just like Truth or Dare. The ending happened, and I was like, what? Like, honestly, that's what the movie felt like. The movie just felt like Truth or Dare in the sense of the end. And then, you know what's also funny? The movie also kind of has pacing like Truth or Dare, only it's kind of flipped opposite. The Truth or Dare is so bad that it's funny for most of the movie, and then it gets boring. This movie is boring for 95% of it, and then it gets freaking hilarious. And I find, by the way, I do notice these things, and also I watched Truth or Dare last night because I just had to prepare myself. Oh my god, the opening credit sequence. Wait, I gotta back up. The opening scene felt just like Truth or Dare. It was almost exactly like Truth or Dare. It was this big, mysterious action sequence, and I was like, okay. And then the opening credits start, and it's the same font style as Truth or Dare. And I'm like, listen, I know it's not a big deal, because I think James Mangold also uses the same font style, but I just found it hilarious how it was the same font style. I was like, oh my god. Then the ending kind of just felt the same too as Truth or Dare. This big thing happens and it's like, oh. And it's ironic too, because Truth or Dare kind of set up for a sequel. This movie definitely sets up for a sequel. And I was like, so I would much rather have a Truth than this, because I think you can do a lot with the Truth or Dare movie. If it's not fucking Jason Blum producing!
Here we stab out both your eyes, fuckhead.
What else? And Michael Pena, man. At first, I was kind of liking him, and then he just gets worse as the movie goes along. And things happen where you're just like, what? Like, how does that... Michael Rooker shows up in this movie, and he does nothing. He does nothing in this movie. That character had so much potential. I was like, oh, well, that's actually kind of cool. He plays like... I'm just gonna tell you because you fucking people aren't gonna see this movie. He plays like this person that he was on Fantasy Island, and then, like, he ran away from the group, and he's been, like, surviving, I guess. Yeah, Michael Rooker barely did anything in this movie. That's really it. I don't, cause I don't want to go into spoilers. Okay, first of all, I would like to go into spoilers, but I don't want to be sitting here for 45 minutes recording a video about this piece of shit. But regardless, even if I wanted to go into spoilers, it would not do justice to this movie because I don't. First of all, I don't remember what happens, and second of all, some of the plot twists just make no sense to the point where I can't tell you what happens. I can tell you what happened in the sense of what happens in the events of the film, but in terms of how it affects the story, I can't tell you what happens because I don't know what happens. Things just happened, and I was like, and another thing, really marketed heavy as a straight horror movie, right? This movie doesn't really become a horror movie until the last, like, 20 minutes. And I was like, well, thanks for the false advertisement, first of all. Second of all, I feel like this movie would have been a lot more of a guilty if they had committed to the horror element. Because when it did that, it was laughably awful. Still awful, but at least I was enjoying myself. The rest of this movie, I just had my hands on my head like, this fucking got made. People said, yeah, this is okay. And people fucking like, people in my theater. People were clapping in my theater. I was like, what is wrong with you people? I'm getting out of here. I swear to Christ, if this is not the worst movie of 2020, we are in for some shit this year. I'm getting out of here. I'm giving this movie a 1 out of 10. Only because the last 20 minutes of this movie were laughably entertaining. Other than that, this movie's a fucking abomination. It should never have existed. And I just don't get it. Jason Blum is a disgrace to the term horror. And he should never be behind the camera ever again. And I know he didn't direct this movie, but his fucking stupid ass Blumhouse company supports so many of some of the worst horror movies of the last decade. And I know we're in 2020, but I'm talking about the 2010s. Some of the worst horror movies to be made in that era. I'm getting out of here. I'm giving this movie a 1 out of 10. Fuck this movie. Fuck everybody that had to do with it. Here. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed me losing my mind over this piece of shit. Check out all the new videos on the channel right now. Please leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. Comment down below if you had to went to Fantasy Island, what would your fantasy be? Like if Mr. Rourke said, "Welcome to Fantasy Island. What would you like your fantasy to be?" Like what would you tell him? Me, I don't know. I can't think properly after watching this piece of shit. It'll probably come to me later. But yeah, I'm getting out of here. I'll talk to you guys later, and be on the lookout. I might do a spoiler review for Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know. I'll see what I do. Anyway, take care and have a